Okay guys, so I have another unboxing for you today. This one is going to be of the GameMax Carbon. Now, I've been needing a case for this 12 core 24 thread Xeon build that I've been trying to get going, and I was sent the case but from GearBest. It is a Seagate Lux. It's in the background somewhere, but there's stuff piled on it and whatnot. I'm trying to get around to reviewing that, but we got sent kind of a weird version of it, if you get me. I'm still working on that review, but this is I decided to buy this because I desperately needed a case. The one that I was sent isn't really the right style I'm going for. I'm going for a very laid back, classy look. I don't want something that has bright fans in the front or anything. I want it to be very professional, but still have a bit of colour on the inside. So we got this because this is a solid front. There's no mesh, there's no glass in the front. It is just solid, and I think it suits the look of the build we're going for. Excuse me. So I was kind of surprised by this box. I was expecting kind of a more of a design on it, because that's the usual boxes you get from GameMax. But maybe this, because it's a brand new 2018 line, it might be just a work in progress. So I'm going to put into this and get the case out. My nose is still running and I have no idea why. Oh, excuse me. So this is yet another tempered glass side panel. I'm going to try and keep my fingers off this so I don't get fingerprints all over it. But you can see the carbon fibre design on the front. I think that's really cool, real sleek. It's just understated enough, but still sporty and gamey, if you get me. And for once they've put the GameMax logo on it that isn't green. It's pure silver. There's no other colours in it. I think that looks really nice. Also because even on the gamboge, it's an black and orange case, but the logo is green. I think if they had kept it just white, it would look a little bit better. But I mean, it's tiny; you barely notice it. Oh, excuse my nose. So anyway, on the front here we have a power button, we have a reset button, we have two USB 2, one USB 3 headphone microphone jack, and something that isn't a button. That looks like it's either I'm not sure what that is actually. Oh, excuse me, my nose is driving me crazy. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not even sick. So I can feel a bit of ventilation under here. And I'm guessing, yeah, there's more ventilation along this side. But I'm in love with this right here. That's so nice. Especially because I'm a car nut as well. I love cars. And carbon fibre and like real big sports cars is a pretty huge thing. Right, so we have a flat side panel, which means I'm hoping that we have a good amount of cable management room. This rivet isn't in properly. And we actually get, I did not know this, we get an LED fan in the rear. I had no idea. That's right. We get a white LED fan in the back. Oh, excuse me. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's just, you know, you're trying to do something. Now my body's like, ha, you will never. It's like trying to get to school on time in the morning. The car instantly doesn't want to start because, you know, you're trying to do something normal. So we do actually have a pretty decent amount of cable management room. You know, you're talking about maybe a centimetre. I hope that's just enough amount of space for my cable extensions. I'm going to be using red cable extensions. Although to be fair, the Draco had less. The GameMax Draco had less room in it than this, and it worked out perfectly. So I'm pretty happy with this. We have room for 2 hard drives, and these actually come in from the front. Yes, they do. So instead of normally the caddies being here where you pull them out, you can access them from the front, which is quite cool, which means I'm not really going to have to worry about undoing all these and routing them so that they're easily out. They're easy to take out of the way. I'm really not on my game. I had my graduation from my further education, not actually college, but further education last night. So, you know, I'm still kind of feeling the results of that. These just are a bit too tight for me to undo by hand, and also they're not very tall, so I can't get a good grip. So I have that side panel off, and it's actually not tempered glass. I thought it was. It looked like tempered glass, but it's actually acrylic. Smoked acrylic, and then it has this it's hard to, like a plaid pattern around the sides, and it basically just makes it more or less opaque, and it just means you can't see any of this here, which is quite nice. It gives it a very kind of high-end look about it, so it doesn't look like someone just basically screwed a sheet of acrylic to the side of a case. It looks like they really put thought into it. So here you can see those 2 drive caddies, and these are actually way nicer than the normal 2-prong that you just pull in and slide out. These are almost like hot swap based. So you pull this and that opens. Excuse me. My body's shutting down or something, I don't know. I'm either sniffing or hiccuping in different ways. And then when you open, this little lever here pushes it out ever so slightly, just enough for you to be able to kind of pull it out. And they are actually toolless, so I think this makes it look pretty nice, and also for someone who has a workstation, it makes it a little bit easier for you to be able to swap out a hard drive. Plug that back in and close it up. We have 2 SSD mounts here as well. So basically, all you do is you take off this thumb screw, and then you just slide this forwards and it pops right up. The SSD will mount onto here, line up those holes, screw it in, and then this entire system gets put back on like so, slid back, and the thumb screw goes on again. Now that is a 160 gig SSD. I'm wondering, should I use that, or will I use one of the 200 gigs that I have lying around? Of course, these ones are this is painted red. It's an Intel SSD, just painted red. It's from my system. I'm not really sure. I mean, I know when I build my next one, I'm using 400 gig because I have one of those lying around too. But yeah, and then there's also these other holes here. I have no idea what they're for. I thought maybe it's for a 3.5 inch hard drive, but the holes don't line up. They're about, you know, maybe 2 or 3 mil off on each side if you put it this way or that way. I don't know. It's kind of confusing, but I'd like to know what they're for. Maybe it's a pump mount or something like that, or maybe it's it looks like it could be for a reservoir. If you lie it down sideways, could go on here. That actually makes a lot more sense. That's pretty cool. And yes, we have a white LED fan in the back. This is going to be coming out, and I'm going to put on just an average fan, a normal fan, just because this is a purely black and red build, and also my father's system is orange and white, and I'm probably going to throw that on the back of his system just to lighten things up a little bit more. We have one of these covers for the PCIe brackets again, and I don't know why. It's just so annoying. Please, can you just make it so that my screwdriver goes right there and I don't have to mess around with a cover. All of our front panel connections are here. That fan is a 3-pin, not a 4-pin, so it's not completely adjustable. So you have your power button, USB reset button, USB 3. All that is just kind of cable tied up here, or twist tied I should say, up here. Put that down there, make it a little bit cleaner. And of course we have two 5¼ inch 5¼ inch mounting areas. I don't understand why they still even bother putting these on a case, because no one really uses them anymore. Also, it'd look horrible in a case like this. You know, you'd be able to see it. I personally wouldn't put one in. Now if we go into the actual motherboard tray, we can see we have some standoffs already installed. I'm definitely going to have to install more because I'm actually using a pretty wide ATX board as opposed to the normal ones I use. I have an ASRock X99 Fatality. So this is going to be pretty wide, and I'm definitely going to have to install more along here. But yeah, it should look pretty nice with everything done. There's the SSD to match. We also have a pretty large CPU cooler cutout. There is no room to really bring up an 8-pin up here, which is a bit bad. I like being able to bring my 8-pin up here, and I think it should be something that every case should have. I don't care if you have to make it a little bit taller. Every case you should be able to bring an 8-pin up here. So I am able to bring it in here, but I have to bring it up before the motherboard goes in, and then it just becomes a pain. It's just not very realistic, but it's a pain in the hole, really. We don't have any rubber grommets, but we do have plenty of places to bring in a cable. I mean, realistically, if you're half decent at cable management, you're not going to need rubber grommets to hide the back of the case. I'm confident in my skill doing cable management, so I'm more than happy with that. Plus, you can just tuck cables in behind this power supply shroud, which you do have a lot of perforations in, and I'm not entirely sure why. Here, obviously, so you can see what brand it is, but as opposed to up here, you know, you're not going to have that. Everything down there is relatively passive. It cools itself. A hard drive just lets off its heat, and you have a bit of air coming in from the front anyway. Power supply gets its air from underneath, so there's no need for all these little slits in it, as if they're about to let heat out or let heat in or let air in. It'd look a little bit nicer if maybe these were just here and this was solid. Personally, now some people may disagree, but again, I'm more looking for the sleek, classy look, not like, you know, mad airflow and whatnot. Only the first PCIe slot is actually removable. The rest are punch outs, which again, I mean, it's only we got this for €63. I can't really complain, but it would be nice to have them all removable. It's neither here nor there really, but I don't know. It's a bit of a pet peeve for me. But realistically, that's all I have to say about the inside of the case. I mean, there's no red flags here that's making me think, you know, don't get this, don't get that. But you don't get any fans in the front, but I have two easy DIY ring fans that I'm going to use. Just the outside lights up, and also I'm hoping that puts a bit of a shine in here. I hope I'm going to be able to kind of see them in there. I think that'll look pretty cool. And yeah, so I'm like, there's nothing here that's really a red flag whatsoever. There's a couple of things here that are like a pet peeve for me, but doesn't affect the average consumer whatsoever. It looks like a very high quality case. The acrylic instead of tempered glass, I mean, that's perfectly fine. That keeps it in a good range for price, and also you're not really going to notice. I mean, there's no huge difference except for the fact that I can no longer say, hey, I have tempered glass. It's quite literally the only thing that has changed here. There's nothing major there. I'm not going to take the plastic off that until I'm actually building the system. All the cables are black, which is a fantastic thing. I love this. I think this looks real cool. I don't know why, I just think it looks really cool. It looks real like server, like, if you get me. You know, I actually am going to be using server hard drives in it to Dell Constellation drives, 1 terabytes. I might put them in RAID 0. I would put them in like a different, was it RAID 1 that uses only 1 drive, but it's twice as safe. I'm gonna go with RAID 0, so you kind of get twice. You get the full 2 terabytes of storage, but if one goes, it all goes. I'm using server hard drives that are designed to run all day, every day, and not turn off. I mean, I highly doubt they're gonna go, and plus they've been used for probably 20 minutes out of their entire lifespan. You know, they've been tested, and then, you know, they're not used anymore. Here, take one. But yeah, I like the system of putting these in. I like the SSD mounts right there. You can make the system look very, very nice. You can't install stupidly long power supplies, so you're not going to get your Corsair 1000 watts in there. But I mean, I'm using an AeroCool Integrator 750 watt Mod XT, so it's semi-modular. That's going to fit in there. The average ATX power supply is going to fit in there. I'm going to have enough room just to plug in my cables. I mean, there's nothing major here, other than the fact that it works. It's the bare minimum of what you need for a case to look nice, perform nice. It's basically completely open air, which means there's nothing blocking air getting to all your parts, and it's big enough to build a nice system in. I mean, I can't really complain about anything here. So, with that said, I also like to point out the bit of silver on the side. It just adds another colour. Adds something else to it. But with that said, that's basically it for this case. I mean, there's overall it gets, you know, a 5-star rating. I mean, it could be, you for a bit extra money, you know, you could go a little bit higher end, but for the 50 to 60 pound market, I mean, this, you can fit a 120 rad in the front by the looks of it. You know, it only will fit fit a 240 rad in the front. I apologize. You can't fit a 120 rad in the back, but I mean, you get an AIO with 240 in the front will perform perfectly. It all looks good. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty good buy. I think this system's going to look deadly in it. That's basically it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and that's basically all the social media I use for my channel. Yeah, so, goodbye.